What if I told you that the earliest leaders of Christianity, the Apostolic Fathers, held secrets that could completely change how we understand faith today? These teachings have been hidden in plain sight, influencing billions of lives, yet few truly understand their depth. Stay with me to the very end, because we'll reveal a hidden truth that might challenge everything you thought you knew about early Christianity. Welcome, seekers of ancient wisdom. Today, we're diving deep into the lives and teachings of the Apostolic Fathers, the earliest torchbearers of the Christian faith. These were the disciples of the apostles themselves. Figures like Clement of Rome, Ignatius of Antioch, and Polycarp of Smyrna. Their writings laid the foundation for the Church, but their words often carry meanings far deeper than we imagine. Why were these men so pivotal? How did their teachings shape the Church we know today? And most importantly, what secrets lie buried within their ancient texts? Join me as we journey through their lives, teachings, and the mysteries that surround them. But first, let me ask you, what do you know about the Apostolic Fathers? Have you ever wondered how much of our faith today reflects their vision? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's explore together. Part 1. Misconceptions about the Apostolic Fathers. Imagine living in a time where every word you spoke about your faith could cost you your life. Now imagine being the ones chosen to carry forward the teachings of the apostles themselves. But here's the twist. Many questioned their authority, and their words were nearly lost to history. Could it be that their voices held something too powerful, too dangerous for the world to accept? Stay with me as we unravel the untold story of the Apostolic Fathers and their struggle to keep the light of faith alive. The Apostolic Fathers, just the name itself, carries an air of mystery. These were not mere followers. They were the immediate successors to the apostles, tasked with safeguarding and expanding the fledgling Christian faith. Yet, their legacy is often shrouded in misconceptions. Were they simply parroting the words of the apostles? Or did they forge a new path with their unique perspectives? To answer this, we must first debunk some long-standing myths. Misconception 1. They were mere echoes of the apostles. Many assume the Apostolic Fathers simply repeated what the apostles taught without adding anything of their own. But their writings tell a different story. While deeply rooted in the teachings of the apostles, figures like Clement of Rome, Ignatius of Antioch, and Polycarp of Smyrna infuse their own experiences and struggles into their messages. Consider Ignatius, who wrote passionate letters on his journey to martyrdom. His words weren't just reflections of apostolic teachings. They were a call to unity and a bold defense of the faith against heresies that threatened to fracture the early church. Have you ever thought about how much courage it took to stand firm in the face of death? What would you have done in their place? Let me know in the comments below. Misconception 2. Their teachings were universally accepted. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. Not everyone trusted the Apostolic Fathers. Early Christians often questioned their authority. After all, these were not the apostles themselves, but their disciples. Some doubted whether their interpretations truly reflected the original teachings of Jesus. This skepticism led to divisions within the early church. Ignatius and others had to confront internal resistance, while also battling external persecution. Imagine walking such a tightrope, defending your faith against Roman authorities, while convincing your own community that you were a legitimate voice of truth. What do you think was their biggest obstacle? The hostility from the outside world, or the doubt from within? Share your thoughts. Misconception 3. Their work wasn't influential. Another myth is that their writings were secondary to the New Testament scriptures and lacked influence. But this couldn't be further from the truth. The Apostolic Fathers played a crucial role in shaping the theology, structure, and practices of the early church. For example, the Didache, often referred to as the teaching of the 12 apostles, provides one of the earliest glimpses into Christian community life. It outlines instructions for baptism, fasting, and prayer, serving as a manual for early believers. Clement's epistle to the Corinthians offers a remarkable example of conflict resolution and leadership, emphasizing the importance of harmony in the church. Their writings were the glue holding together a faith that was still finding its footing in a hostile world. What's more influential, bold action or wise words? These early leaders seemed to master both. Which do you think mattered more to their survival? 4. The weight of persecution. Let's not forget the immense pressure they faced from outside forces. The Roman Empire viewed Christianity as a dangerous cult threatening their traditions and authority. Persecution wasn't just a distant threat. It was a grim reality. Imagine Ignatius, penning his letters while shackled on the road to his execution, urging believers to remain united and steadfast. Or Polycarp, an elderly bishop who chose to face martyrdom rather than renounce his faith. Their lives were a testament to their teachings, and their courage inspired generations of Christians to come. But here's the lingering question. How did they balance this external threat with the internal struggles of a young, fragmented faith? The Apostolic Fathers walked a fine line between preserving tradition and innovating for a new generation of believers. But what exactly did they write about? What secrets do their texts hold about faith, leadership, and the very nature of God? Let's dive deeper into their key writings in the next section. But before we move on, what do you think motivated them to keep going despite the overwhelming odds? Let's discuss below. If you found this glimpse into their struggles and triumphs intriguing, don't stop here. Hit the like button, share this video with a fellow truth seeker, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the hidden history of Christianity. And don't forget to ring the bell. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Part 2. Key Writings of the Apostolic Fathers. What if the way we worship today is nothing like the vision of the earliest Christians? Could their lost writings hold a blueprint to a forgotten faith? One built on unity, sacrifice, and profound mystery? Stay with me as we uncover the secrets hidden in their words and explore a world of faith that shaped the Church as we know it today. The Apostolic Fathers weren't just caretakers of tradition. They were architects of the early Church. Through their writings, we get a glimpse into the heart of a faith forged in the fires of persecution and bound by a commitment to something greater than themselves. Let's dive into their key texts, each one a treasure chest of insight into early Christian life, leadership, and belief. 1. The Didache, the Church's first manual. Let's start with the Didache, often referred to as the teaching of the 12 Apostles. This text is like stumbling upon the first handbook of Christianity. It outlines everything from baptism practices to moral guidelines, and even offers advice on how to host traveling teachers. But here's the twist. The Didache also warns against false prophets, urging the faithful to test their leaders by their actions. It paints a picture of a community, wary of being misled, but fiercely protective of its unity. Think about it. How would you judge a spiritual leader? By their words or their deeds? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What's fascinating is how the Didache reflects a church in transition. Baptism is described as being ideally done in running water, but allowances are made for practicality. This adaptability shows a community balancing reverence for tradition with the realities of their circumstances, a lesson we could still learn from today. 2. Ignatius of Antioch, Letters from the Brink of Death. Now, let's turn to Ignatius of Antioch, whose letters are some of the most compelling texts in Christian history. Written on his journey to martyrdom, they are a mixture of pastoral advice, theological reflection, and heartfelt farewell. Ignatius doesn't shy away from controversial topics. He emphasizes the importance of a unified church under the authority of a bishop, a structure that remains foundational to many Christian traditions today. He passionately argues against divisions and heresies, believing that unity is the key to preserving the faith. Here's a question for you. Would you willingly embrace death for your beliefs as Ignatius did? Or would you find another way to protect what you hold sacred? Share your perspective below. What's even more intriguing is Ignatius's view of martyrdom. He sees his impending death as a way to fully imitate Christ. In one of his letters, he famously writes, "I am God's wheat, and I am ground by the teeth of wild beasts that I may be found pure bread." His words challenge us to think about the depth of our own convictions. 3. Clement of Rome, the peacemaker. If Ignatius is the passionate martyr, Clement of Rome is the wise peacemaker. His epistle to the Corinthians is one of the earliest examples of conflict resolution in the Church. Faced with a community in turmoil, Clement appeals to the virtues of humility, patience, and respect for leadership. What makes Clement's letter so powerful is its tone. Rather than issuing commands, he persuades through reason and scriptural references, encouraging the Corinthians to restore harmony within their ranks. Imagine being in Clement's shoes. How would you handle a divided community? Would you appeal to their hearts, their minds, or their faith? Let's discuss in the comments. Clement also reminds the Corinthians of their shared mission. He emphasizes that unity isn't just a virtue, it's a necessity for survival in a hostile world. His words resonate even today, reminding us that collaboration often triumphs over conflict. 4. A common thread. Faith in action. What ties these texts together is their practical approach to faith. For the Apostolic Fathers, belief wasn't just about doctrine, it was about action. Whether it's the Didache's guidelines for daily life, Ignatius's call for unity, or Clement's plea for peace, their writings are deeply rooted in the lived experience of a persecuted and growing community. But here's the question that lingers. Have we lost the sense of immediacy in our modern practice of faith? The Apostolic Fathers didn't have the luxury of complacency. Every decision, every word carried the weight of their mission to preserve and spread the teachings of Christ. What do you think? Have we drifted too far from the simplicity and urgency of early Christian faith? Share your insights below. I'd love to hear your perspective. These writings offer us a window into a time when faith was raw, unpolished, and full of risk. But there's more to uncover. What secrets about leadership, community, and sacrifice lie hidden in these texts? And what surprising revelations could reshape how we view the Apostolic Fathers today? Stick around for part 3, where we unveil the hidden truths they left behind. If you've enjoyed this journey through the writings of the Apostolic Fathers, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who loves exploring history's hidden gems. And if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you won't miss part 3, where the biggest secrets are revealed. Let's keep the conversation alive. What struck you most about these texts? Drop a comment below. Part 3. Secrets of the Apostolic Fathers. Imagine a time when every word of faith could mean death. Yet, amidst the shadows of persecution, a small group of pioneers crafted a blueprint for survival, a roadmap that not only preserved Christianity, but transformed it. Could these ancient teachings contain the answers we need today? Let's uncover the hidden secrets of the Apostolic Fathers, truths that might just shake the foundation of how we see modern faith. The Apostolic Fathers, a name shrouded in reverence and mystery. These were the spiritual architects of a nascent movement, standing at the crossroads of tradition and innovation. They didn't just safeguard the faith, they shaped its very essence, offering teachings that resonate across centuries. But what if their messages were more than theological reflections? What if they were strategic guides, tailored for a faith teetering on the edge of extinction? Today, we delve deep into their hidden truths, lessons of unity, perseverance, and leadership, lessons that were as much about survival as they were about spirituality. 1. Unity, the glue that held the church together. For the Apostolic Fathers, unity wasn't merely a virtue, it was a lifeline. The church, in its infancy, was vulnerable to external persecution and internal fragmentation. Ignatius of Antioch, one of the most prominent voices of the era, wrote extensively about the critical need for unity. He pleaded with the early Christians, "Wherever the bishop appears, let the people be. Just as wherever Jesus Christ is, there is the universal church." This wasn't an ego-driven directive, but a strategic move. Without a central figure, communities risk splintering into factions, each with their own interpretations of faith. Here's something to think about. Could the church today learn from this emphasis on unity? Do you think our differences strengthen or weaken us? Let me know in the comments. This vision of unity wasn't about suppressing individuality. It was about forging a collective strength that could withstand the external forces trying to crush them. In many ways, their insistence on unity was less about dogma and more about survival. 2. Perseverance. Faith under fire. In the writings of the Apostolic Fathers, perseverance emerges as a recurring theme. But this wasn't the passive endurance of hardship. It was an active, almost defiant commitment to the faith. Ignatius's letters, written en route to his martyrdom in Rome, are a testament to this spirit. He viewed his impending death not as a loss but as a triumph, a way to fully align himself with Christ. "Let me be food for the wild beasts," he wrote, "through whom I can reach God." Would you be willing to stand so firmly for your beliefs, even in the face of death? What would it take to have faith that unshakable? Share your thoughts. I'd love to hear how you feel about this. For the Apostolic Fathers, perseverance wasn't just about enduring suffering. It was about finding meaning in it. They believed that hardship purified faith, stripping away superficiality and leaving only the essence of belief. But this raises a question for us. Has modern Christianity lost the sense of resilience? In a world of convenience and comfort, have we forgotten the strength that comes from enduring challenges? 3. Leadership reimagined. Servants, not kings. One of the most surprising insights from the Apostolic Fathers is their vision of leadership. In a time when power often meant dominance, they introduced a radically different idea: leadership as service. Clement of Rome, in his letter to the Corinthians, implored church leaders to act with humility and love, likening their roles to shepherds guiding their flock. This was a far cry from the authoritarian structures we might imagine. What do you think true leadership looks like in the church today? Should leaders exercise authority or embody humility? Share your perspective in the comments. I'm curious to hear your take. This model of servant leadership challenged the norms of the time, emphasizing responsibility over power. It's a reminder that true leadership isn't about control, but about serving others selflessly. Could this approach to leadership be the key to addressing modern issues of division and mistrust within the church? 4. Faith as a way of life, not just belief. Perhaps the most profound secret of the Apostolic Fathers is their understanding of faith. To them, faith wasn't just a set of beliefs. It was a way of life, a series of actions that reflected one's devotion to God. The Didache, often referred to as the teaching of the 12 apostles, offers a glimpse into this mindset. It emphasizes ethical behavior, community care, and spiritual discipline. Similarly, Ignatius and Clement stress the importance of living out faith through love, sacrifice, and service. What does living out faith mean to you? Is it through rituals, acts of kindness, or something else? Let me know in the comments. I'm eager to hear how you bring your faith to life. For these early leaders, faith was inseparable from action. It was about embodying Christ's teachings in everyday life, from caring for the marginalized to standing firm in the face of adversity. Does this challenge us to rethink our own faith? Are we merely believers, or are we practitioners of a faith that transforms not just ourselves but the world around us? 5. The final secret, a faith built to endure. So, what is the ultimate secret of the Apostolic Fathers? It's this. Their teachings were designed not just to inspire but to endure. They built a faith resilient enough to thrive under persecution, adaptable enough to grow, and unified enough to inspire generations. Their writings challenge us to ask hard questions. Are we unified or are we divided? Do we persevere through challenges or do we avoid them? Do we lead with humility or do we seek power? What do you think their message for us today might be? Are we living up to the legacy they left behind, or are we missing something essential? Share your insights. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We've uncovered the secrets of the Apostolic Fathers, but this is just the beginning. What else could we learn if we explore their writings even deeper? If this deep dive into the secrets of the Apostolic Fathers has intrigued you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who loves exploring the hidden corners of history and faith. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. so you never miss an episode of our explorations. But most importantly, let's keep the conversation going. What struck you the most about their teachings? Drop a comment below and let's talk. As our journey through history comes to an end, we stand at the crossroads of ancient wisdom and modern reflection. The Apostolic Fathers were not just keepers of the faith. They were architects of a movement that defied persecution, embraced unity, and shaped a legacy that continues to challenge and inspire us. Their lessons on perseverance, leadership, and living out faith resonate across centuries. But here's the question that lingers. What secrets have we yet to uncover? Could their writings hold answers to the challenges of faith in our time, or perhaps even clues to mysteries we haven't dared to explore? What do you think? Which of their teachings struck you the hardest? Was it their vision of unity, their unshakable perseverance, or their revolutionary approach to leadership? Let's discuss in the comments below. And if this exploration has sparked curiosity in you, it's just the beginning. History is full of hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. And together, we'll keep unearthing the truths that shape our faith and understanding of the world. Before you go, make sure to hit that like button and share this video with fellow seekers of truth. Don't forget to subscribe to Ancient Faith Explorations and ring the bell icon to ensure you never miss the next revelation. The past is spoken, but what it whispers next is up to us to uncover. Until then, keep questioning, keep seeking, and I'll see you in the next video.